Welcome to the Go Slow to Go Fast Lifestyle Podcast, the show where we explore slowing down and embracing intentionality and how it can actually accelerate your progress and lead to profound growth. Today, we have an incredibly inspiring guest who embodies this principle in every sense of the word. At the age of 9, our guest, Laura Bratton, was diagnosed with an eye disease that made her face difficult reality that she would become blind soon. And over the next 10 years, she experienced the traumatic transition of adjusting to life without sight. Imagine the courage, the resilience, and the sheer determination that would take. Laura is insightful. She has written a book called Harnessing Courage, and this title perfectly encapsulates her journey. And she's also founded UB Global, an organization dedicated to providing speaking, coaching, and empowering all people to overcome challenges and obstacles with grit and gratitude. Laura's story isn't just about adapting. It's about thriving in the face of immense adversity and using her experiences to uplift others. I'm so honored. Welcome, Laura. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm excited for the opportunity.
Our listeners are going to be excited to learn more about your story. What does going slow mean to you?
To me, it means being present in the moment and experiencing what is. So rather than being constantly focused on the future or the past, speeding up to focus on moving forward fast or just focusing on how the present or the past used to be, to me, being slow means just being in the present moment.
Mm-hmm. Like that. Being, some might say be here now or be in the now, being present, going slow. And it doesn't mean that we're not achieving, that we're not reaching our goals, right?
100%.
Yeah. And your company, UB Global, I wasn't really sure what what your thinking was around why you chose to call your company that. But then before we got started recording, you shared with me a little bit of the background. And could you tell us a little bit more about what your company is all about?
Yeah, so the name was very intentional. So UB is the Latin word that means when or where. So as I'm speaking, as I'm coaching, working with individuals one on one, I'm always asking the question, when and where do you need grit? And when and where do you need gratitude? And that perfectly ties in. That's what I mean about that connects to the definition of slowing down, because asking that question reminds people to be focused on the present, be focused on the here and now. And just like you said, that doesn't mean you're not doing anything. It means you're powerfully present in the moment.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think we can all hear that. We can probably hear that several times a day as we go through the little things and the big things that might bog us down and get us frustrated, get us upset, throw our day off, whatever it looks like for each of us. And it's going to be different for everybody. But certainly somebody who's navigating life without sight, I can't imagine the challenges that you've overcome. And I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about that, anything from your background that you want to bring in to the conversation, but I'd love to hear kind of what your thought process is with navigating your challenges day to day and how you kind of thrive and survive through that.
Yes. So talk about how I learned the power of going slow and the gift of going slow. I want to give a quick background on where I was before I learned the gift of going slow. And that'll make what I'm saying make more sense. Before I learned to be in the present, before I learned to slow down in order to go fast, I was overwhelmed with anxiety about the present because I was just adjusting to life without sight. And I was so fearful and overwhelmed by the future because my focus was constantly on all of the future. At the same time, I was incredibly overwhelmed with depression because, again, just as I mentioned in the first definition, I was so focused on the past and grieving, rightly so, what I had lost, the vision that I had lost. So with that combination of anxiety and with that combination of depression, I was not focused on the here and now. I couldn't be. I wasn't in a mental place to be because the change was so significant. What the gift and what taught me of how to slow down, and slowing down, not just meaning stopping, was the gift of the support around me. So as I was incredibly anxious, as I was saying, I can't do this life is too hard. I want to be just a normal teenager with sight. I don't want to have to be a teenager without sight. The gift of my parents were they were teaching me to slow down and be in the present moment. And the way they did that was through their actions. Every single day they would say to me in those high school years, every single day they would say to me, Laura, we just need to take it one day at a time. We don't have to figure out the whole future. Yes, we all are grieving something very intense that you lost, yet all we have to do is today. And so when I would get up and get dressed and get to school on time, that was a major accomplishment. Like they taught me that that was enough for the day if that was all I could handle. So again, through their actions, they taught me what slowing down meant. That slowing down means taking it day by day, literally moment by moment. And of course, at first in my teenage head, I was like, "Oh, that's so weird.
Right.
Why are you saying this to me? Would you quit saying this? You said this every day now." I didn't receive it. I didn't believe it was true. I didn't think there was any value to it. But as I continued to live it, I slowly decreased in the panic attacks and the anxiety and the overall depression. And I realized the gift of literally taking it day by day, moment by moment. So that's why I gave the definition that I did on slowing down, just means being in the present, just being right where we are in the present moment.
Yeah, and that's so profound because, yeah, I mean, most teenagers, they are so in the moment, but not for the right reasons. Like
Right,
they
right,
think their life
right,
is over if, something awful happens to them on a given day and then that's it.
right,
There's no persevering. The life is over. So the
right.
fact that your parents probably knew that about teenagers, a little bit, and they were able to kind of get you to think, let's just be in the moment and let's
Yes.
celebrate the little things, as big or as little as they are. It's a big deal. That's a big
Is
deal.
it right,
Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
the other gift that I would love, love, love to share that I also learned about slowing down and being in the present moment. I also learned that being in the present moment being means accepting what is. Even when what is really, really hard and really, really difficult. So, what I mean by that is a conversation that I had with a mentor taught me what I'm just sharing. Right before I started college, I was in an administrator's office and I don't even remember why we were meeting or what we were talking about. At the very end of the meeting, she said, Laura, I just want to let you know you think that you're done with grieving. You think you grieved the 4 years in high school, grieving's over. Now you can move forward. I just want to let you know and give you permission. It's okay to grieve and you will grieve for the rest of your life. And that it's not a weakness. That does not mean you have not accepted your blindness. That does not mean you cannot move forward. It means you can do both at the same time. And the gift of that conversation was she gave me permission.
Yeah.
And the permission she gave me is, and I'm not just saying this because it's your podcast, is exactly your title. She gave me the permission to slow down so I could go fast and continue forward. Again, what I mean by that is she gave me permission to slow down, acknowledge, wow, this is really, really hard.
Yeah.
I'm sad what I'm missing. I deeply grieve the vision I don't have anymore. And I choose to have the grit and the courage to move forward. So being in the present moment doesn't just mean all is good and happy and positive and we're
Right.
joyful and everything is great in our world. That's we're in the present moment. To me, what I've learned through my lived experience, it means being in the present moment and feeling what is, whether that's good, whether that's difficult, whether that's painful, whether that's grieving, whether we're in the midst of change, whatever it is, what it is, and feeling that in the moment, gives us the power to then move forward.
Yeah. And that conversation is so powerful too, because there are so many of us that have been, I mean, at least in my experience, I was kind of told, suck it up, move on, you know,
Yes.
you're going to be fine, stop crying, whatever it was. And I think
Yes.
my parents were meaning well, but, and that was like not big trauma, that was like little things. But when we're dealing with big T trauma or little T trauma, whatever it is, and we're told, let's not spend time, let's not go slow, let's move fast and get through it and push through it, it doesn't give our bodies time to accept it and our minds time to accept it and process. And so we're going to carry that baggage around with us until we do process it. And would you rather do it in the moment or when it comes up or later in life when you're not able to or don't have the time to, and then it becomes like a bigger issue?
Yes, I completely agree. And that was my lived experience because when I didn't slow down to acknowledge the pain, the grief, the anxiety and the depression got so much worse.
Mm,
Yet when I just stopped and acknowledged the grief and acknowledged the pain, acknowledged the loss and felt the sadness and allowed those tears to come, my anxiety and depression actually got better
mm,
because I did exactly what you said. I stopped to acknowledge so I could move forward.
yeah. Yeah. And I think, I mean, I'm no psychologist or psychiatrist. I'm definitely not a medical professional, but I'm just hearing the more people I talk to about this type of behavior, and if you do spend time acknowledging it, whatever you're going through, your body's not going to hold on to it. And then that way you don't manifest something worse later.
Right. Right.
And yeah, I mean, it could be dis-ease in different ways that we just,
Literally.
yeah,
Yeah. Because
yeah.
the accumulation of anxiety and depression, that wears our body out.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, it's got to be so heavy in so many
Yes.
ways, especially if we're
Yes.
ignoring it.
Yes.
So, where is your mindset now? How are you feeling about it now?
Great question. So, my mindset now is definitely that balance of the grit and the gratitude. And
Mm,
what I mean by that, I would love just to break each of those down because
hmm.
what I do not mean about the grit is exactly what you said. Suck it up, move
Hmm.
on, get over it. Don't
Yep.
talk about it, push on. That's not what I mean by grit. The grit that I've learned is the grit that, again, going back to that situation of what my parents taught me, take it day by day by day.
Hmm.
So to me, the grit looks like having the courage to say, today's really hard, but today I'll choose to believe in myself.
Mm,
Today's really hard, but I choose to trust those supporting me today. So for me, the grit looks like each day and sometimes each moment choosing to have the courage, the strength, the self compassion, the self love to do the next thing that I need to move forward.
mm,
And again, sometimes that grit looks like acknowledging this is really, really hard. Sometimes that grit is having the strength to say, gosh, I wish I still had sight.
yeah.
I don't. So what am I going to do about it? That to me, that is intense grit to be able to hold that. At the same time, balanced with that is the gratitude. And again, what I don't mean about the gratitude is positive, happy. We walk around all day long saying thank you
Hmm.
to everybody in every situation. Like
Right.
that'd
Right.
be annoying.
Yeah.
What I've learned the gratitude is being deeply grateful for what helps me navigate through the difficulty.
Hmm.
So, a perfect, clear example in my real world is no, I do not wake up every day and say, I'm so grateful to be blind. This is great. I recommend it. Everyone should try this out. This
Yeah.
is fabulous. But what I am deeply grateful for is to wake up and say, I'm deeply grateful for the guide dog that helps me navigate the world. I am deeply grateful for Siri that I can talk to all day
Yeah.
long and that makes the world so much more accessible. I'm so grateful to Alexa that
Hmm.
makes the world so much more accessible.
Hmm.
So the gratitude that again, mentors, I did not develop this on my own, that mentors have taught me is that mindset of being grateful for what empowers us to navigate through the change.
Yeah.
So I share all that to say my mindset today is slowing down to realize the balance of grit and gratitude, to choose the balance of grit and gratitude so I can move forward in a healthy way.
And I'm sure you talk more about this in detail in your book, Harnessing Courage.
Yes, that is
I
the whole book. Absolutely.
That's probably the whole
Yes.
point of that book
Yes.
is the courage
Yes.
that you've had to go through this process
Right.
of grit and gratitude. But
Right.
I mean, even you said it, you're going to have, even you have bad days, even though you've written about this, we all are going to go through it. We're human.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's a great message for the listeners out there. And I'm excited to hear that all this AI is providing you more access in your day to day. That's cool. I mean,
Yes, it absolutely is.
that's
Yes, I
amazing.
love just the gift. I mean, I laugh about it, but seriously, I am deeply grateful for Siri and Alexa.
Yeah,
It makes so much of the world accessible,
I
so much
hear
of the
you.
everyday world
Yes.
accessible. So again, rather than just being frustrated and negative and
Hmm.
in that victim perspective, I'm making the conscious choice. And again, that's every day. It's not a one time decision. Every day I say, yes, this is frustrating. And I'm
Hmm.
grateful that I can figure out a way.
Hmm.
So again, I love how you said, we're all human
Yeah.
and we
Yep.
all have those really difficult days. And that's okay.
Hmm. We have
We're
to give
still
ourselves
worthy.
permission.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. We're worthy, like you said.
100%.
We are. And I think that's another, it seems to be a common thread that I'm coming across with a lot of listeners and women out there, and men too, I'm sure. We're all going through it at times where we have that negative self talk that we've got to acknowledge and
Right.
then redirect,
Yes. And
make a
then
difference.
make the choice to redirect.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And it is about making that choice. Like we can choose to wallow and have a pity party and feel sorry for ourselves. And maybe there's days where we need to do that. Um, but maybe not for very long because
Not every day, all day, right?
no, right, right. But I get it. There are days where you have to have some ice cream and chill out and just not worry about what's going on because we just need to take it slow.
Yes.
Maybe
Exactly.
with
And,
some
and
ice
that's,
cream.
I'm so glad you said that and that's exactly what I mean about slow is not just being present when it's all good. A lot of days being slow for me means calling a best friend and just say, okay, I just need to complain. I just need to just sit there and listen. Don't tell me. And I'll literally tell this to her. And we know each other well enough to say this to each other. Don't tell me to be strong. Don't tell me to have grit. Don't tell me to have gratitude. I just need you to listen.
Yeah. Don't give me my
It's
words
just like,
back to me.
that's exactly, I literally say that to her. I'm like, don't you tell me those words. And she will. She'll just sit there and listen while I complain, while I cry, while I'm angry, whatever the emotion is, and then literally we'll just hang up. We don't end it with this pretty, oh, it all work out. I'll sleep well tonight, because she knows I'm not gonna sleep well. But then the next day I'll call her and just say, thank you so much. Okay, I can breathe today. And that's the whole point of slowing down. It gives us the space to be in that. I just need to complain today. And then tomorrow I'll make a different choice.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've got your safe people that you can do that with. I mean, we
Yes.
definitely the more and more I hear about loneliness and the epidemic of loneliness and how people need to connect and have that community. And if you don't have that best friend you can lean on, hopefully you have a partner or somebody, a family member that you can connect with and just
Yes.
remind them, I don't need it to be fixed. I just need to have a moment and then we'll move on.
And that's the whole point. We'll move on. It's not that I'm going to stay in this moment forever. It's I need to have this moment and then I'll move on. Yes, you said it perfectly.
And I'm sure you do that for your friend as well. I'm sure it's
And
reciprocal.
that's the gift. And it's so
Yeah,
hard not to fix it,
I
right?
know. It
It's
is.
so hard to be on the other end of the phone and just want to say, "Oh, but you got this," and point out
Mhm.
all the good parts or whatever. But just to be quiet and in the crisis training world, it's called holding the space. So
Mm.
it's very important. And I have to remind myself, even though I'm professionally trained in it, when it's a good friend or a family member, all you have to do is hold the space. All you have to do is just literally be quiet and just
Yeah.
hold the space while they vent, they scream, whatever the emotion is. That deep cry, just
Yes.
whatever it is. Don't even tell them it's going to be okay. Just listen to their tears.
Yeah. Something similar that you kind of touch on, similar in the education world. I think it was Art Garmston and Bob Costa who did a lot of cognitive coaching research. And they came up with a couple of programs that I took a while ago, like 15 years ago. But similarly to your holding the space, they call it let the silence do the heavy lifting. So
Ooh. I've never heard that. I absolutely love it.
it's very hard.
That is incredibly hard.
It
Ooh, I'm
is.
gonna remember that.
Yeah, you
'Cause
just have
that's
to
true.
sit.
That is so hard to let silence be silent.
Yeah. And I mean, I would get to the point where, like, if somebody in a school space would come to me and be like, I just have to have a talk. I just need to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, are you going to vent to me? Is this a session where you need me to problem solve with you? What is your goal for the end of this conversation? And they're like, I just need to vent. Okay. So it sounds like we're operating in parallel
Yes,
ways here. So it's good.
definitely. And it's very hard.
Yes, it is. It is. And you can get a little feisty if someone tries to fix your problem, we got to do it in our own
I
time.
do. I definitely do. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get snappy. I told you
Yeah,
you got to fix it.
I know. And you kind of touched on this just a little bit too, that there is that thing of toxic positivity. We don't want to be all cheery and sunshines and rainbows and unicorns that everything's going to work out fine. Because there are just times where that's not what we want to hear. And especially these days when there's so much going on in the world, we definitely need
Yes.
to be able to sit with that reality of whatever people are experiencing.
Yes, and that's been my lived experience of
Mm,
going back to what you were saying kind of about, "Oh, suck it up, work on the," sweep it under the rug. That same concept is true when people just say, "Oh, just be thankful, just be blessed that you
I
have your
know.
hearing," or "Just be
Yes.
thankful." I'm like, "Yes, I am, but
Hmm.
let me also grieve.
Hmm.
Let me also grieve what I do not have." That doesn't mean I'm not a positive person. It
Right.
just means in this moment, I need to grieve. So, yes, my experience has been that toxic positivity made me have more panic attacks.
Mm,
It
yeah.
made me more depressed.
Yeah.
And that's where I came up with the great gratitude that I'm so passionate about because that toxic positivity just did not work for me. It made me more depressed. It made me more anxious. So thank you for bringing that up because that is my lived experience.
Yeah, no. I can only imagine, having to hear that over and over and over again and just be like, enough.
Right.
I've got to write a book about it now.
Right. Exactly. And that's the permission that mentor gave me was, yes, I am thankful and I can also grieve.
Hmm.
I can do two truths at one time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So, what made you, creating this organization in your company? Did you write the book first? Did you do the company first? Or did you do them both at the same time? How did you kind
So
of
I
get into
did
that
them.
space?
Yeah. So I'm so glad you asked it. Completely connects to everything we've talked about. I did them both at the same time. So I published my book and I started the organization at the same time. And it was very specific. My drive, my passion for both was because I received such incredible support. I did not want to say, okay, I received this support, good for me, end of story. I was deeply driven and still what drives me, motivates me every single day was I've received the support. Now let me go and be the support. So the support that I've received, I wanted to go and be that support to others so they could also receive it. So they could also receive the gift of empowerment and the gift of realizing we can grieve and be sad and be angry and accept our new normal and navigate through change and move forward. It's all okay with that. And you need that support around you to tell you that, to model that. So the vision behind the book and the organization was to be that empowerment to other people going through change, whatever the change might be. That might be someone who picks up the change and picks up the book and is going through a change that might not last very long. Or it might be someone picking up the book and going through extreme life changing, every single moment is affected. Regardless, the principles, the tools are the same. So that was the deep passion and still is my deep passion that drives me today.
What's next for you? And do you have any projects on the horizon? Any initiatives you're working on?
So definitely not another book.
No. Okay.
Definitely not. Maybe sometime far in the future, but definitely not in the near future.
Right.
Definitely my strengths are in the speaking and in the working, in the individual, the coaching, working with individuals. So the projects and what I'm working on and what I absolutely want to grow is the speaking and the coaching. Because
Mhm.
again, I cannot say enough about how passionate I am about each of those, both speaking on an organization to group level, but also that one on one level where you can go so deep. Just that gift of empowerment that I can give to others to say, this is hard and you are enough. Yes, this is hard and you are worthy. So that's my constant passion,
Yeah.
my constant project, my constant future.
Mm. If you can hear any kind of positive message or inspiring message in this episode, I hope that it'll keep moving you forward. There's just so much going on in the world that, people just need to hear a positive message
Yeah.
and a reassuring voice. And so I know that you're a great light in the world for that.
Just that message, and I can't say enough to grieve, to acknowledge our difficult feelings. We are so both scared and that again, that positivity doesn't give space for the difficulty to breathe. So there's so much healing. And this has been my lived experience and the people I've worked with. Just acknowledging the feelings gives us the space to move forward.
If I'm going to be taking what you said today and add it into my practice, I could, bring that into a journaling practice where I'm thinking of, what is something where I'm, going to acknowledge that is hard today. And then, I need to keep moving forward with that grit. And then what is something where I need to be grateful? Can
Yes.
I find something grateful in my day? There it's,
It's that
yeah,
simple. A
yeah.
lot of what I do when I first start working with individuals is exactly what you said. Have them think at the end of the day, okay, what was really hard? And then what helped me survive the day? So just acknowledging that hard takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of strength to say, gosh, I was really anxious today, or I was really angry today, or
Right.
this day was really hard to get through. Just acknowledging that takes a lot of strength. And we don't give ourselves enough credit for just the power of acknowledging the hard.
Right. Whatever that looks like to you
Right.
and any
Right.
listener out there. I'm thinking about I might do that with my kids when I go up and kiss them goodnight. I might ask them, what was something that was challenging for you today? Okay. And we can get through this. And what are you grateful for? And I think that they'll remember to do that. And it might become a thing that we do every night. So I'll see if that's a routine. I'll let you know if it's
I was
something
going to say, keep me posted, please.
well, I'll let you know if 10-year-old boys are going to add that to their practice.
Please keep me posted.
But as they head into middle school, it's definitely something that they can add.
That they can use. I know it works. I've worked with a lot of middle school girls, so I know it
Mm,
works for them.
yeah, that would be, it'll
So
be a little,
keep me,
little, yep, a little science project we'll try here.
yeah, we'll experiment.
Well, it's experiment of the mind, the mindset. I like it. Okay. Well, is there anything else that you want to share with our listeners today, Laura, about your, projects and ongoing speaking engagements? Anything that you have coming up soon that you want to share?
Yeah, no, that's it. Just the speaking coaching and just the last, similar to what we were just talking about, just the last advice would be in the slowing down. Remember that we do matter and our gifts are enough. Again, my own lived experience and what I hear from so many different people I work with is I'm not doing enough. My gifts aren't enough. My gifts don't matter, especially in times of change, times of trauma, times of difficulty. So just to slow down and remember our gifts do matter. Our gifts, whatever they are, those gifts are enough. So that would be the main takeaway, main empowerment.
And that's a gift for our listeners. I think there's somebody out there that needed to hear this today. So whether you're listening to this as soon as it posts or 5 years from now, somebody needed to hear this today. So thank you for that.
Thank you
Yeah.
for the opportunity.
As a busy professional and a parent, I used to wear busy like a badge of honor. I get it. Your brain is a nonstop to-do list, and it feels like there's no time to breathe, let alone slow down. But that's where we've been getting it wrong. The secret to a calmer, more productive life isn't doing more. It's learning to do less efficiently. Your path to resilient calm begins with one simple act: pausing. Think of the pause as your personal reset button. It's not about escaping your life, it's about showing up more fully for it. It's a moment to reconnect with yourself before jumping into the next task. The first actionable move in my 3-step ComStack method is something I call permission to pause. This is an intentional 60-second break that you take in between different tasks or settings. For example, before you go from work mode to mom mode, parent mode, take a moment to pause and breathe. And before you open your laptop in the morning, pause and breathe. Just for 1 minute, close your eyes. Inhale deeply for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. And repeat that 3 times. It's that simple. That single minute, that intentional pause, it breaks the cycle of chaos, and it gives your nervous system a chance to reset. So, you can walk into the next part of your day with clarity and not overwhelm. This is the power of slowing down. If this simple strategy for 60 seconds created some calm for you, I want to show you what else is possible. I have an online course that's ready when you are. It's out on my website, and it's called the 3-Step ComStack. And the first module is free, so you can get an idea of what it's all about before committing. This is just the first step in my 3-Step ComStack method. It's a complete approach to building daily rhythms that support peace, clarity, and joy. So if it feels right to you, I invite you to keep going. You can get the full course and start building your own ComStack with me today.